What's good YouTube, it's your boy MVT and welcome back to the What MVT Thinks channel, where we talk about everything movie and TV shows related. So in today's video we're back with more Snowfall, but more importantly we're going to be speaking about season 4 episode 5 and the recap. Now this episode was big, I can't lie, this episode was really interesting to watch, really interesting to see how everything played out, and from this episode the whole series is going to change in my opinion anyway. I'm going to speak about it in today's video. Now before we get into that, some of you might have noticed that in the past 2 weeks I didn't do any uploads on the channel. I was a little bit busy, but now I'm back in full effect and you guys can expect all the videos that will coming out very soon. And if you guys are here for the power videos, the last power video of Ghost is Alive will be coming out within the next few days, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But with that out of the way, let's actually talk about Snowfall season 4 episode 5 and the recap, because this was a big episode as I said already. So after the shootout that Leon and Fatback had, they obviously went into hiding, and we know they had to go into hiding because obviously Scully is looking for Leon and he's looking for Fatback as well, but his main focus is obviously going to be Leon. Now we all know that in the shootout Leon kills Scully's daughter, who is Manboy's niece as well, so we already know that because of that it's going to pop off 1000%, and that was to be expected in this episode anyway. Now I pretty much knew that because obviously it was the daughter of Scully that got killed, who's also the niece of Manboy. That's pretty much going to bring Manboy and Scully together, and they're probably going to form some alliance to obviously take down Leon and possibly Franklin as well, but we're going to be discussing all of that in today's video. So Manboy goes to the morgue to see his sister, who's obviously Khadija. He wants to find out who killed his niece, which rightfully so, he should want to know who killed his niece, and he's probably going to want to deal with that. Obviously he finds out that it's obviously Leon, and instead of going to kill Leon himself, he goes to Franklin. Now this is all part of his master plan if you guys ask me. Manboy pretty much demands Franklin to basically hand over Leon to him, and he basically tries to play it as, well, last time when one of my friends was a snake, or one of my members was a snake, you told me to handle it and I handled it, so now you have to handle this situation the same way I handled my own people when they disrespected you. Your people have disrespected me, so now you got to hand over Leon to me. But Franklin doesn't want to hear that. Obviously Franklin, that's his boy, and he's not going to want to snake his boy. Now I actually get where Manboy's coming from, and to be honest I cannot understand why he expects Franklin to do that, but at the end of the day we know how Franklin is, we know how him and Leon's friendship are. They have a brotherly bond that just can't really be broken even if they're mad at each other, so I could never see Franklin handing over Leon or just snaking Leon for that sake. I just couldn't see it happening. I also think that this is somewhat a test from Manboy as well. He wants to see exactly how Franklin is going to react. He wants to see if he's going to take the personal route, which is obviously to help Leon get out of it, or if he takes the business route, which is to obviously hand over Leon and keep things sweet with Manboy and Scully, because obviously those guys move product for him. So if he doesn't have those people moving product for him, his business is going to be going down the drain unless he can find more distributors. So to be honest, if this was a test from Manboy, I wouldn't be surprised. We've seen him test Franklin many times. We've seen him like kind of touch the waters and see what he can get away with and what he can't. He loves to kind of understand Franklin because he wants to see how he can take him out in the future. As we know, Manboy wants to be the one on top. He wants to be the guy that has the major connect, and he wants to be the plug. So at the end of the day, he's been trying to get Franklin down for a very long time, and he's kind of using this as an opportunity. Now moving on to Leon, we see Leon pretty much down bad right now. He's gone to his mum's house to hide out. She doesn't want him there. She basically told him you can't stay here, and she knows that something's up with him, but she doesn't want anything to do with it, and she definitely doesn't want any of that bad influence around her younger kids as well. So she pretty much said, look, you can't stay here, and the money that you're looking for, that you came looking for, I've used it. Which in my opinion, I mean, that's your mum at the end of the day. If your mum stole your money, there's not much you can really do about it. I mean, I guess he is a bit mad, but there's not much he can do about it. It's his mum, he's got to respect her. So he pretty much just left there. And then when he left there, we pretty much see him chilling with the homeless people. And I can't lie guys, when I saw that, I felt real bad for my boy Leon, man. Like, why is he out here chilling underneath the bridge with homeless people? So after he was being there for a while, he decided to leave and go to the homeless shelter. Now the homeless shelter is where Franklin's dad works. So Franklin's dad obviously told Franklin that Leon is staying there, sleeping on the floor. The next morning we see Franklin pop up on Leon, and he basically takes him somewhere, gives him a new place to stay, and gives him somewhere to lay low whilst he figures out his next move. Now we knew this would be the case, as their friendship is very strong. As I said already, they pretty much have that brotherly love going on. They're pretty much brothers. I mean, blood wouldn't make them any more brothers to me anyway. Now, even though they aren't seeing eye to eye right now, I knew that he wouldn't sell him out. Like, Franklin just wouldn't sell out Leon like that. I just knew for a fact. So after the first night, we see Leon start having nightmares that Saint is gonna pop up and kill him. And I can't lie, when that nightmare came up, at first I thought it was real because it did look kind of believable. But then afterwards, I just started laughing. Like, that was absolutely hilarious. But you can tell that that's obviously what he's fearing right now. In his subconscious, he's fearing everybody because he feels like everyone's after him. Even though he feels safe around Saint, to an extent, he's still kind of cautious because he doesn't know what Saint might do. He knows that he's put Saint in a situation where he kind of has to pick. And even though he probably knows what side Saint's going to pick, he doesn't know 100%. So he's still on edge. And to be honest, I would be on edge at the same time. I can't lie to you guys. Now, Leon keeps on replaying the scene back in his head where he obviously kills a little girl. And I know that this is going to be tough on him. He's having a hard time processing everything and what's happened. I mean, as we all know, he didn't mean to kill the kid, but that's just the way it happened. And he's pretty much just lost with the whole thing. He doesn't really know how to process, as I said already, and he's having a hard time understanding. And to be honest, my whole thing is, why was the kid in the car in the first place? And even if the kid was in the car, why was the goons opening fire on Leon and his crew, knowing full well that the daughter is in the car? Like, that is mad. Scully should be mad at his own goons for that. I mean, I know they're all dead, but still, like, he should be mad. Because at the end of the day, why are they opening up fire when his daughter's in the car, putting his daughter in harm's way? They should have just left, got the kid out the car, circled back and handled business. But they didn't. They opened fire with the daughter in the car and the mother as well. So for me, that was just mad, but that's the way it played out. And now my boy Leon's just all kind of messed up about the whole thing, and rightfully so. And he knows that Scully and Manboy, as I said, will be after him, and he's probably got a little bit of fear in him for that as well. As we've seen before, he kind of fears Scully to an extent. We know that he hates Manboy, but he kind of fears Scully because he knows how bad Scully is. Now with Scully and Manboy teaming up, that's a tough team to fight. It's going to take Leon and Franklin to team up to get past them. Otherwise, if they don't, they're pretty much just going to be food. Now, that's just my personal opinion though. So we see Manboy meet up with Scully. Now, as I said, even though they hate each other, they have family ties, and this has hit home for both of them. The whole situation is going to bring them together. They're going to squash their beef, and they're more than likely going to team up and work together to take out Leon, and more than likely take out Franklin as well, because they're going to know that Franklin is kind of helping Leon hide out or whatever, and they're going to want to take out Franklin as well, and they're going to want to take that plug position for themselves. Now we see Franklin meet up with Teddy, and he gets him to find out what the police know about the whole shooting and stuff like that, which obviously is a smart move and is the move that I would expect Franklin to do. So Teddy pretty much finds out what the feds know, and he finds out that they pretty much have Leon's prints at the scene of the crime. Now later on in that episode, we see the news report, and we see the news report say that obviously Leon and Fatback are wanted by the police for questioning. Now this is going to be a big problem. I mean, the feds are going to be searching real hard for Leon and Fatback, and I definitely think that they're going to find Fatback first, but they're definitely not going to be giving up. At the end of the day, a 5-year-old girl was killed, and if the police don't do anything about it, they're 100% going to have a riot on their hands. Now that's a situation that they can't afford to have, so this is one of those cases that they have to get resolved ASAP. They probably got like higher ups chewing down on them like, what's going on? So they need to get answers ASAP. They're not gonna let this go. And obviously with Leon having been associate of Franklin, if they can't find Leon, they're gonna start looking into the associates of Leon, because they might think that obviously those associates are gonna be helping him hide out. So that's gonna bring a lot of heat down on Franklin and his organization and his business, and he might have to stop doing certain things for the time being before it actually gets too much and the feds actually kind of find out what's going on. Now Aunt Louie wants Franklin to handle Leon. Now she knows that the whole situation is bad for business, and she knows that the feds will come down hard on them as well, as I said already. Now Louie's always been hella smart, if you guys ask me. She's always thinking about the money, and it's nothing personal to her. Nothing's ever personal. It's always about the money, and it's always about business. Now for a business standpoint, it does make sense to hand over Leon, because as I said already, business can keep on running. But when you talk about family and stuff like that, it just doesn't make any sense to hand over Leon, especially to people that you almost look at as enemies as well. Why are you gonna snake your brother and hand your brother over to your enemy just so your enemy doesn't attack you? That doesn't make any sense, and that would not be a powerful move. Now the powerful move would be what Franklin done, but I do see where Louie's coming from, and it makes sense from the business standpoint because the business can keep on running. As I said, she's always been smart and she's always had that business mindset, and that's why Franklin left her in charge of the business that time when he obviously went to prison. So we see Leon sees the news, and he obviously sees the news report that says that him and Fatback are wanted by the police, and he obviously gets spooked, and then he leaves the house that Franklin set up for him. Now leaving the house was kind of a silly move, but at the end of the day he's panicking. He's just seen himself on the news. He now knows that everyone knows what he's done, and he might be thinking that someone might know where he's hiding and they might snake him to the feds. He doesn't want to go to prison, so the first thing he does is go to where he's left his emergency money and try to get his money and get out of town ASAP, which to him seems like the smart move at the time. Now obviously playing out the way it would play out, when he comes out of the house with all the money, he sees Scully there waiting for him. Scully sees him and instantly starts barking off that fire. He wants Leon dead. Leon starts running for his life and luckily manages to run into Saint and Uncle Jerome. Now this is where the major war is gonna start. Scully sees that it's Franklin helping Leon get away, and although they already have a war going on, this is gonna make Scully go after Franklin 10 times harder. And as I said, the only way I could see them getting out of this is if they work together and try and take down Manboy and Scully at the same time, because these two are pretty much devils and they're coming after the crown. So if you don't handle them, they're gonna be a major problem, and they've already proven themselves to be a major problem already. Now Manboy and his people end up meeting with Saint, and in this scene we see everything change. As we know, Saint isn't gonna give up Leon, and at the end of the day their family, their brothers, and I already spoke about this all already, they have a strong bond and they're not gonna snake each other. Now to be honest, if he did give up Leon, as I said already, it would have been a huge mistake, and I'm happy that he didn't. Now Manboy doesn't respect the fact that that's his decision, but at the end of the day, who really cares what Manboy thinks? Because regardless of the decision that Franklin made, it would have ended the same in my opinion. Now if Franklin gave up Leon to Manboy, Manboy would have looked at it as a weakness, and if he doesn't give up Leon to Manboy, he's also going to look at it as a weakness as well. So either way, Manboy is always going to look at whatever decision Franklin done as a weakness. So it doesn't really matter what he thinks. What he thinks is irrelevant. Now Manboy goes on to say, when sharks smell blood, they'll come. So by that, he's basically saying that they're about to go to war. So as I say, it's going to be Leon and Franklin versus Scully and Manboy, and it's going to be going down. Bodies are going to be dropping on either side, and the next few episodes are going to be 100% epic if you guys ask me. Now I definitely think that Franklin made the right decision. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If he gave up Leon, he would have given one of his closest friends away, his brother, his loyal soldier. Leon has access to guns, and he's got a lot of soldiers behind him as well for protection and stuff like that. So he's definitely stronger together with Franklin, and Franklin's obviously stronger together with Leon. It just works perfectly. I feel like them two together teaming up, they can definitely take out Manboy and Scully, and I feel like we're going to be seeing that unfold within the next few episodes. I mean, I think we have like 4 episodes left of the season, and I reckon by the end of the season either Scully or Manboy are 100% going to be dead. I'm hoping that it's going to be both. I don't think Manboy is going to be the one to die, because I feel like he's going to trickle over to the next season. I feel like Scully's going to be the one to die, but we're going to have to see how it plays out. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this episode in the comment section below. Now I know I missed different storylines and stuff like that, but this is the major storyline for this episode. This was the main thing that was happening. There was a few other little things, but they're pretty much irrelevant. This is what everyone wants to know, and this is what everyone wants to talk about right now. So let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you guys did like this video, do share it on one of your social media platforms, and make sure you guys subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I will be having a prediction video coming out for the next episode within the next few days, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys stay subscribed to the channel, because it will be coming out very soon. Anyways, that's it for me. It's been your boy MVT for What MVT Thinks, and I'm out. Peace.